Hi friends, this is Madhurai from KingMakers IAS Academy, meeting you all again for this UPSC Civil Service Mains Exam Paper 2024 essay paper that was held very recently. We will be discussing Section B, the first question of Section B and the fifth question of the total paper. So we will be discussing about this topic, that is social media is triggering fear of missing out amongst the youth, precipitating depression and loneliness. So this question is about a technology which is social media. There are a lot of questions which are being asked in essay paper, especially on social media. There have been a history of many questions that have been asked about social media, especially on the wrong side or the disadvantages or the problems of social media. So these are the questions that are usually asked in social media. So it's a very, very usual topic, and every UPSC aspirants would have been thought of. But the problem is here the question is very narrow. It is only about the problem of fear of missing out. Friends, this FOMO problem is often trolled or often talked about. It is often shared and discussed, and it is the one which important thing that have been discussed by psychologists, sociologists, the educators, the technologists, the people who are in the government side, the people who are making the rules for social media, the people who are the controllers of media, so or the CEOs of various social medias like TikTok, Facebook, and Insta, and various other posts. So this problem is have been discussed, but the UPSC aspirant would have been shocked seeing this very narrow problem in the essay. Because if at all, if they are asking about general problems of social media, yes, everybody could have talked about. This particular question is very, very narrow. It is talking about one particular problem of social media, which is fear of missing out. This FOMO problem. So we have to split this in different thoughts. We cannot make any dimensions here because the dimensions are very, very narrow. We are only to talk about social media, and the problem is in social media we have the problem of fear of missing out. But we have to talk about what is this problem and how this problem is having its wings or having its tentacles in different people. So here the question is again narrow because they are asking FOMO problem not in children, not in women, but only in the youth. Yes, youth, of course, you can talk about youth women and youth men, but not the old age, not the children. So again, the question is very, very narrow. So let's not constrain ourselves with youth as a very, very, again, a narrow topic. We will generally talk about FOMO, and little bit when we are talking about the problems, we will little bit tell about what youth is having, what youth is undergoing, what youth have to do. Like this, we will focus on youth, but we will broaden this issue and talk about fear of missing out in a general perspective, and we will focus on youth, and then and there we will mention youth, so that we are addressing the questions. So instead of talking generally about youth or thinking very narrowly about youth, talk in general, but focus on youth and mention youth whenever possible. Fine. So this is how we will be doing. So here the question is, social media is triggering fear of missing out. So fear of missing out amongst the youth, precipitating in depression and loneliness. So yes, you can start your introduction, conclusion, and here is the topics that I thought we will be able to give. So the outline of this program is, outline of this essay is like this: introduction, then I'll be thinking about what to conclude, and then I'll be giving side headings. Even if you are not giving side headings, it's entirely no problem, but ensure that you have a flow. That is, the every paragraph should have a flow between within the from the one paragraph to the next paragraph, you should have the flow, and every paragraph should be able to address the question. So every paragraph, even if you suddenly jump into one paragraph, this paragraph should be able to connect with the essay topic. So that like that, you should be able to connect the paragraphs with the next paragraph and connect the every paragraph with the topic. So this is how you have to do in the essay. So in this essay, I have tried bringing this topics, that is, real is not real, real is not in real, self-realization beyond technology, or you can generally say self-realization is the key. So instead of concluding, I am giving a title for my conclusion itself. I will not be writing any introduction and conclusion as my title, because do not write introduction as a title and conclusion as a title. You will not do. But instead of concluding, I will be giving a title to my conclusion, that is self-realization beyond technology, or self-realization is the key. So that will be my end title. So this is how I'll be talking about, or I'll be outlining my essay. So now thinking about introduction, what are the things that I'll be brainstorming? So I'll be giving certain hints, so that these hints will help you to elaborate on the essay, because this is how I'll be brainstorming, and I'll be doing my rough work, and then each line I will be expanding into one paragraph or even 2 paragraphs if possible, and then I'll be enlarging my essay. So, and giving some examples wherever possible, or giving some facts wherever possible, or giving some anecdotes wherever possible, or giving some case studies wherever possible. So this is how I'll be expanding my essay. Even if you have any examples or facts, please try to jot it down in the brainstorming, that is in the rough page itself. The rough page usually be given in the last pages of the essay booklet that you will be getting. So when you are getting the essay booklet, turn to the rough page that is in the last. Try starting, you will be first choosing the topic, then you will start brainstorming, and after brainstorming, if you wanted, you can draft the passage or the paragraph that you want, then you will start writing. Every essay, you should at least brainstorm for 20 points, so that you'll be able to write an entire essay, which is very good. And this essay, you have to write for 1200 words. So 20 points would be required for you to write, which includes examples, or even otherwise without examples also try to make up 20 points, because 20 points you can accumulate into one paragraph. 2 or 3 points you can accumulate in one paragraph, or one paragraph for 1 point. So like this you will be brainstorming, and then you will start translating it into a content that is for 1200 words for each essay. So like this you will be brainstorming, and you will transform this brainstorming into content. So like this I'll be starting my introduction. I'll be thinking about brainstorming my first introduction. I should give an impressive introduction and impressive conclusion. How would I start with? Yes, you can start with various ways, giving anecdote, story, a poem, prose, or quote, or anything possible. But here, even paradox, you can start your essay with, the social media is rising, but the fear of technology is the social media is rising, and also the fear of technology. The social media is rising, and also the problem of mental health. Or the social media is rising, but the virtual connection is rising, and the real connection is decreasing. Like this, you have to talk about the paradox. Paradox means edirmarai, which means you're talking something in positive, something in negative, or something in increasing terms, something in decreasing terms. That is paradox. So that is what you have to talk here. So you can start any method that you want. I have thought about starting this essay with talking about IT revolution, or a simple definition of social media. SM here means social media. So here, social media is a platform of self-expression, information sharing, and knowledge hub. And it is creating this human capital, and it is also enriching the social capital through connectivity. So you can start with an introduction of this social media, what is social media is about, or you can also talk about the history, how social media born, like starting with the IT revolution, or even dating back to this other revolutions, or you can even start with the industrial revolution, and we are there in the 4th industrial revolution, and where social media is the important thing that is connecting biological, physical, and the other aspects, the information. Like this, you can talk about the 4th industrial revolution. And now you can even start with an introduction, giving a case study. That is, during COVID-19, we started with the digital education, where social media was able to help us connect with the teachers and the school management, and even with the fellow beings who are there who are affected by the COVID, who are home isolated, who are isolating themselves, and they were able to recover better because of the virtual connections they were having. So social media, you can start with the benefit or the important positive points about social media instead of talking entirely about the negative points, which is the topic is about. Because yes, entirely we'll be talking about all the negative things. That is FOMO. In terms of FOMO, we will be talking about all negative things about social media. But let us give a room for some benefits of social media. So we can start with the benefits of social media and then move on to the problem of FOMO, or you can talk about the problems itself in the starting, and you can delve on in deeper into this problem of FOMO. But it would be better to give a different perspective, start with the benefits of social media, then delve into the problem of FOMO in social media. And now we will go into this second part, that is the first side headings, that is real is not real. Yes, the social media reels is not real, but social media as such is not just about reels. There are different things. There are different dimensions to social media itself. Yes, you can talk about that, but I thought this is like a very short and punch like dialogue. So I thought this I can give it as a side headings. Real is not real, wherein you can talk about the happiness narratives that are given in the social media or not the real thing. So happiness narratives, so like there are certain shorts or YouTube videos or anything that is giving us the happiness narratives. I got a job, I got this, I got a good wife, or I succeeded in my life, or I succeeded in my love story. All these happiness narratives are there. So these happiness narratives are creating a anxiety problem for those who cannot do that, those who are not able to do that. There are people who are flying to US or flying to doing their MS or anything possible in their life, but we are sitting here, we are not able to do something. So that can create a inferiority complex or many depression. So here is the negative points that you can talk about. You are feeling restless because somebody who is your closest friend, they're able, or your college mates, they're able to fly to US and do their MS, but you are not able to do. So you are not happy at the present. You're not happy with what you are. So you are feeling restless. You're not being content to, you're ending up in something that you are not ready for, or that you are not passionate about, or that you are not loving, or you're not liking. So like this, there are things that will be. And there is a problem of culture of comparison. Yes, this culture of comparison is a very inhibiting factor in your life, because you don't like being compared by your mom with any other fellow students. So by the teacher, if the teacher usually does comparison, your mother and father usually does the comparison. Anybody who does the comparison, you don't like it. So, but you do the comparison with this in the form of social media, and you yourself, you are able to compare, and you make yourself unhappy, and you create anxiety within yourself. So you don't have to blame anybody else. You are doing the comparison for yourself. You are doing things that are not in your hands, that are not for you. So you are comparing about the fashions, about the celebrity lifestyle, about the celebrity's fashion, or about there was a person who was driving a motorbike, and he was actually Supreme Court has ordered him to his license must be revoked, because he was giving all the stunts in the using his bike, and he was buying very modern bikes. So this person who was putting his reels, he was inducing many young children or young youth to buy such a bike and do all the stunts in the road. So these are creating problems. It is creating accidents. So the court told this person who is a social media influencer, who is a stunt person, they told his license should be revoked. So like this, there are various persons in the social media who is creating a problem with the youth, who is creating a mental agony, who is creating a mental anxiety, who is creating a culture of comparison, so who is creating a life which is not content, or who is not feeling happy about what he is having. So like this, there are lots of examples that you can give. Like even if you are comparing the person who have saw the recent film and he would have put a selfie in his WhatsApp status saying that I have watched this particular movie. You are feeling very anxiety because you are not able to watch that movie, or you are not able to go to that place, you are not able to do that particular thing, or you are not able to go to this party. Like this, there are various other issues that that people are lamenting about. So like this, there are lots of problems you can talk about good relationship. Yes, there are people who are talking about how good their relationship. Yes, there is a good example of Narayan Murthy and Sudha Murthy, whose life we have to learn from. But there are people who are creating a reel which is not in real, and they are telling that the husband is so empathetical or so loving, and or the wife is so loving, doing all these things. So this is creating a gap, or this is creating a too much of expectations. So this expectation is curbing, or it is creating unusual comparison, and this is creating unusual expectations, and this is creating a relation anomaly or relation deficit, or you're not content with your whatever relationship you are having, and there are a lot of breakups, or there are a lot of fights that you are undergoing. So this good relationship is not real. And this fitness drive is another one thing, the zero size or the different fitness methods that the people are using in the social media. This is also creating a problem, which is creating an unhealthy food habits, creating unhealthy lifestyle habits. So this is a problem. And external validation, you putting a reel. Now think about seeing other reels. Now think about you putting a reel, and you wanted somebody to like the reel, and you wanted somebody to share the reel, you wanted somebody to comment positively on your reel. So and even there are people who are putting a reel on their own son or daughter, or on their own on their own talents, but they are thinking of an external validation. You are a dancer. If you are dancing good, you don't need any external validation, but people wanted an external validation. Even for a parenting, they wanted an external validation. They don't want validation from their own kid, but from the others who are looking at how they are parenting their kid. So like this, the people are creating or madly driving towards an external validation, forgetting there is a sense of self, that is perception about yourself. So this is creating a loss of self-worth and inferiority complex. So it's creating an inferiority complex, or you're not able to being content with yourself. So that is one problem. And it is also driving consumerism, because there are lots of fashion, like 4 p.m. biryani, or many people are seeing these biryanis, this biryani, that biryani, 4 p.m. biryani, 11 p.m. biryani, 12 p.m. biryani. All these exposure to different information, exposure to different ads, and this consumeristic culture are creating a drive which is affecting their health. They are thinking this is also creating depression when they are not able to attain this particular benchmark. So they are creating a benchmark for themselves through these reels. So these reels are creating a benchmark which is not a real benchmark, and it's not a real, it's not needed at all for them to attain that, but they are creating this benchmarks for themselves, and when they are not able to attain this is creating a depression and loneliness, especially for the people who are in the college. Because since the question is about youth, you basically talk about the college going people, the women, I mean the adolescent, and the people who are in the 10th and 12th standard, and then colleges. So this you have to talk about basically. Real is not real. So real is not real. Yes, true. So real is not in real because everybody wanted to be with the best of themselves. They wanted to show the best of themselves. They wanted to gain this external validation. So they only post what is not really there, but what is they wanted to show. And that was creating a perception of what they are may not be what they actually are. So like this, these real is not in real is creating a problem, and that is what again creating a benchmark for happiness. And the people are not able to accept their flaws, They're not able to tolerate their failures. They're not able to realize their self-worth, and they're not able to maintain their original identity. They're not themselves. They're trying to emulate this celebrity's hairstyle, or this celebrity's dressing style, or this celebrity's walking style, or this celebrity. Even a celebrity need not be a actor and actress. It can be Tata Birla. It can be Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, anybody in life, because these people or the youth are exposed to various information, and anybody can be their role model. Even in the ethics paper, there was a question about learn from everything, but do not lose your identity. This was Swami Vivekananda's quote. You can quote this: learn from everything, but you cannot be them. That is, you cannot just imitate them. You have to maintain your identity. This was Swami Vivekananda's quote. So like this, you have to maintain your identity. So social proofing, there is a problem of social proofing. That is a mob mentality issue, wherein you wanted to be a friend with somebody, and so you are trying to do something which you are not, but you wanted to join the team. So you are doing something they like. So you wanted to join a team. You wanted to join the team, and you wanted to be connected with them. So you are doing something that they like, but not what you are or what you like. So like this, social proofing is a problem. This is a mob mentality which is creating a problem. Even we asked a question about social proofing, and this social proofing can be quoted in this essay. So this you have to understand. And in the final part, self-realization is the key. So there is a talk about digital minimalism, wherein you keep away from the virtual gadgets, and you are working with the real people connection, real communication. You are able to lean on the people physically, and you are able to get the kind and care for and the love that you want in the real world rather than in the virtual world. So this is the thing, and the sense of self should be born from you and not from the external validation. And yes, to fight against these FOMO, which is creating loneliness and depression, we have to create a medium for creating this media literacy, wherein the people have to critically think whether that information is true, whether that information is needed, whether that information will suit me. Should I have to follow that, or should I have to just ignore it? So like this, media literacy, critical thinking is very much important to fight against the post-truth world. Post-truth world means the world wherein you cannot understand what is real and what is not. So that is post-truth world. And you have to create real connection. And even you can simply talk about the short-term measures, wherein you have to restrict the screen time. And the final thing is self-actualization. In the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there are different levels of needs that a human will require. First is the safety needs, then the esteem needs, psychological needs. Like this, there are different stages: psychological needs, then esteem needs, then the self-actualization. Self-actualization is the real realization, the real self that you wanted to be, the last thing that you wanted to be. It is the realization of your inner self. That is self-actualization. Becoming a IAS officer may not be a self-actualization, but becoming a best and worthful civil servant is the thing that you have to aspire for. Clearing this exam is not the goal. It is actually, the goal is to serve the society. So like this, you have to realize yourself. The self-actualization is the key. So yes, social media will help you gain knowledge, gain everything, but not the sense of self. It will never give you the sense of self. It is one you have to inculcate in yourself. It has to be internalized by yourself. It has to be learned by yourself. And yes, you have to create real connections. That is the real social capital. Okay, so this is how I'll be ending my essay. Yes, there can be a lot of things that we can be discussing, a lot of examples that we can discuss, but this essay being very narrow, we have to be very careful not to deviate too much, and not to give some examples which are not, you are not able to tell it in very few words. So you should be very careful when understanding what examples or what points I can put in, so that I'm able to do that in a very concise manner, in a very short manner, but give lots of points in a very few lines. That is called as word economy. So word economy is very important. You should talk about the content, or you should talk about concept in a very, very few lines or a few number of words. So that is very important for this essay. Thank you so much. We will meet in the next essay very soon. Thank you.